Ben, do you get any sort of idea that this may be the plan that fixes migration, illegal migration?
Well, I've felt for a long time that the government's got this back to front. You know, border control is not a function of your deportation policy. Deportation is what you need when border control has failed.
Right.
And what we've got effectively is a border force that just is unable to do its job. And no matter what number of legal provisions the government introduce, I think it's going to be virtually impossible for them to actually have an effect on these illegal crossings of the Channel through deportation. These latest plans, which effectively are meant to ban anyone who's come into the United Kingdom illegally from even making an asylum claim, would require them to disapply to some significant extent the European Convention of Human Rights. And that is fraught with trouble. First of all, it would be a breach of the Belfast Agreement. We're only a week on from the Prime Minister and Ursula von der Leyen beating their moral chests and promoting, you know, the importance of the Belfast Agreement and how they're going to make sure that it was adhered to in all its dimensions. But a key part of that agreement is a commitment by the United Kingdom to the European Convention of Human Rights. So that's a problem. Yeah. We've also committed to staying in the ECHR in the new trading agreement that we have with the EU. So we've got treaty problems with disapplying it. And then, of course, you're going to have problems getting that through Parliament. You can imagine the kind of pushback that they will get in the Commons and then the Lords. So I think the legislative approach is going to be extremely challenging for the government. And then even if they get that through, they've got to then send these people somewhere. Now, a lot of these people come from countries with whom we don't have an agreement for deportation. So what do we do there? Shamima Begum, for example, if she came across on a boat and we wanted to enforce these new laws against her, where would we send her? She's stateless. So, you know, I think, as with so many of these government policies on trying to stop illegal crossings of the Channel, it's all great fanfare, but no real substance.
Right, so it sounds tough, it makes headlines, but you don't think it's workable?
I don't think it works. I mean, you know, fundamentally, border control is not about deportation. Deportation is what you do when border control fails. We need proper border control.
But Ben, I mean, is that factored in, do you think? I mean, perhaps they're aware that this possibly won't work, but it's the look that they need for political reasons, because this is hugely popular with the grassroots. It will do well in elections. The Tories know that the British public across the board are very concerned about this. Whether or not it's able to happen is another matter. I mean, Priti Patel saying that the laws that are already in place could actually do what they're proposing to do with these new laws. It doesn't really work. The point is, it seems to be
sounds
doing
as if
something.
it does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the point you make is a very pertinent one. And we've had this before, of course, with the Nationality and Borders Bill, which was introduced by Priti Patel. And she said at the time that there was to sort everything out. And then we had the Rwanda plan, and not a single individual is yet to go to Rwanda. I think they managed to get one person onto the aeroplane, and he was effectively blocked by the European Court of Human Rights. So the drawback with the government's approach, if it is just playing the 24-hour news cycle trying to keep grassroots happy, is that this is not a problem that disappears off the front pages. It's a very visual problem. You've got thousands of people crossing the Channel every week, and there's no amount of trumpeting your own legislative framework that's going to get around